Well. Hello, here I am, 6 minutes late. Well, they say better late than never. I always say better never late because, as some of you may or may not know, I am really not a fan of tardiness. I don't like to be late, and if I'm late for something, it's a rarity, even by 5 or 6 minutes. And if I'm late, there's got to be a good reason for it. There is a good reason why I'm late. I was sitting in this chair for the last half an hour and I fell asleep. Yeah, I woke up and it was after 4:30. I got a jolt of adrenaline and pushed myself here. So here I am. So let's see, to start with who we've got. We have Mike Waljasper. Hello, Mike. We have Harold. Hi, Harold. And we got Drunk Ringo. Hello, Drunk One. And we got George Music for all four seasons. We have Yorkie Girl here, Marianne, correct? And Ramoga, what's going on, Mr. Ramoga? Okay, let's see. Why he late? Yeah, indeed. It is a question. When I'm late, there's got to be a question of it. And Robbie Detroit. What is that? Robbie Detroit's Tiger Man vinyl. I guess I said it right. And hello to Joe F. Daniel, what's going on? What's going on, DJT? Hey, it's Tom. Tom, if you want to come up, let me know. Well, again, you're usually working, aren't you? Let me know if you want to come up. Congratulations. Thank you. He's talking about congratulations on hitting 1,000 over on my other channel, Mayo Loves Mondays. And I want to thank people that may be watching this who helped me get to 1,000 over there because it's much appreciated. Hello, James. And Day Tripper, howdy, howdy, howdy. And Penny Lane, howdy, howdy, howdy to you. Again, I was not coughing, not one bit. As soon as I come here, open my mouth, I start coughing. Must be the dust in here that never gets tended to. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that, Uncle Paul. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a marathon stream over at my other channel. Some of you will be probably mentioning it. My other channel, I have two other channels, but my channel known as Mayo Loves Mondays. If you want to go over there and you want to subscribe, I've got way more subscribers than I expected. And yeah, for those who don't know, I asked a favor. I said I was close to my goal of 1,000 subs on that channel, and I said, help me out, please. Anybody wants to subscribe over there? If we can hit 1,000 subscribers, I give a week in 1 week from yesterday. 1 week, and Danny and I will do an 8-hour live stream over there at Mayo Loves Mondays, and so help me God, a lot of people heeded the call and they went over there, and I got 85 subscribers as of now. And I hit the 1,000 in 3 hours. It might have been sooner than 3 hours, actually. Might have been sooner than that, because I checked. By the time I checked in 3 hours, I was at over 1,000 already. So okay. So we're gonna have to do an 8-hour marathon, Danny and I, over at the other channel. And I put an ad up. The date of that is going to be August 30th. Okay, the 30th, as Lennon would say, John Lennon, on the 30th of August at the Madison Square Gardens, as John said about the 1-to-1 concert in the commercial. So, yeah. And we're going to be on at 8 a.m. It's a Sunday. August 30th is a Sunday. We're going to be on from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Heaven help me. That madman. Uh, Thanks. Thank you. Much appreciated, everybody. Um, what do you get for being third in the chat? I tell you, nobody gets anything except ignored if they're first in the chat. You know what I mean? Even I mean, as far as when you say they get ignored when they say first. Anybody says second. Anybody says third. I don't pay any attention to that. Oh, I don't think that's going to happen. To do 8 hours now to prepare. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, the Raven was on Svengoolie. That's right. I love the Raven. I love it. Are we talking about? Well, there's two Ravens. There's the 1935 Raven with Karloff and Lugosi, which I assume is the one he's showing. And there's a 1963 Raven. And I like them both. I recommend them both. But my favorite is the black and white 1935 one with Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff together, the second film together. And I highly recommend it. A lot of biting opportunities for Lola during the marathon. Yeah. Lola, one of Danny's 3 dogs, bit Robin, his wife, the other day on, sort of on camera, off camera, really. She was there, but she was off camera. And, I tell you, man, I don't tolerate that. I don't, if you own a dog, it should not bite you. And Danny's dog, Lola, bit not only Danny one time, but also now his wife, Robin. You don't have to announce that you're going to make a cup of tea, Peter. I wouldn't know. I don't know why people do that. Those are just to aggravate me. There's no reason to tell me. No reason whatsoever to tell me you're going to make a cup of tea. I'll be right back. Could you just make the tea? Could you just make the tea and then come back when you're back and say, "Here I am, Joe, drinking a cup of tea." Now, once in a while, we get Henry here. If this is the real Henry, hello, Henry. We don't know. We don't know when it comes to Henry. We don't know. Well, here we are, folks. I mean, that was a lot. Anybody watching the first 7 minutes and 44 seconds of this live stream will wonder what the hell was going on here. There's a lot of hellos and talking about me reaching 1,000 subs on my other channel. And let's see, we're here to talk or whatever about Beatles or Beatles. This is a gift. The shirt is a gift. I got this gift from the shirt from one of my viewers. First time I'm wearing it. Kind of like gets wrinkly. You wear shirts and they get wrinkly, I've gotten gifts. I have another gift. I have a Ringo shirt that one of my other viewers gifted me. I didn't get to yet to wearing it, but I will. Do I love Danny the most? No. No. Somebody else in my life I love the most. That's a woman, but yeah, that's one thing about the live stream. I don't know if it's going to be a lot of Beatle talk in that. I would like to think that the live stream with Danny is not going to be Beatle heavy. You're starting college in a couple of days. Good for you. Good luck. It goes fast. Next thing you know, you're going to be sitting here. You'll be in your 60s. Trust me. You'll be like that. I want you, Henry, to remember that moment. This moment, I should say. Remember this moment forever. Do you think you'll make it through the 8 hours without getting mad and scrapping it? You don't know. We don't know. We have no idea. My goal is to make it through. That's my goal. Doc, it's good to see you here, Doc. Gonna watch a movie tonight, Mighty Joe Young. Haven't seen it in years. That's a good one. Is there actually, Doc? That's one of the cases where I actually like the remake as well. I like the original 1949 with Terry Moore, and I like the remake, which I think was a Disney release, even though it's not. It's not a kiddie movie. And Charlize Theron is in the remake. I actually like the remake. I finally broke down and bought the Beatles mono CD box set. By the way, Doc, excuse me, hold on a minute. Sorry about that. Back to Doc, if you're still listening. Doc, when we do the Joe and Danny show on Sunday the 30th, you're welcome to come up if you like at any time. It's going to be from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Finally broke down and bought the Beatles mono CD box yesterday, used. So looking forward to finally hearing it. That's a good purchase. And there it is up there. I have it right there on the edge of the shelf, the white box there. That's a good purchase. No, 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 no. It's not Yoko. It's not Yoko. Yes, I have seen the videos of the actors recreating the Abbey Road street crossing for the Beatles movies, the plural, Beatles movies, plural, coming up in 2028. Yeah, I did see that. I don't really have a comment on it. It's hard to tell just by that clip, I'm going to wait until the movies come out in 2028 before I really get into it, Yeah. All right. So we're out of questions. We're out of comments. That's unusual. August 22nd, though. The summer's running out. Hey, do the mouse, yeah. Hey, you can do it in your house, yeah. Soupy Sales. I was going to wear this. I'm going to wear this pin at some point. A lot of people think Paul and George are miscast, but I'm just glad that John looks great. I think Paul is well cast. I think Paul and Ringo are the best cast, from what I can tell. From what I can tell so far, I like the casting of Paul and Ringo. So far of what I've seen, which is not really anything to go on. Soupy Sales was out of Detroit. Yeah. Do the mouse, yeah. Hey, you can do it in your house, yeah. I love the lyrics, They're so ridiculously simple that they crack me up. I got it. We'll write a song. Do the mouse. We'll say, hey, do the mouse. You can do it in your house, and when you could say, isn't this words like there's nothing to it, you can do it, or something like that, or get down to it, or something like that. Nothing like a simple song to sing along with. And yeah, Ringo was happy with the battery. Oh, I just dropped my phone. Hold on, folks. Yeah, Ringo was happy. I don't know how to say the last name, so I won't attempt it right now. But yeah, Ringo was happy. Yeah, with his choice. Yeah. So, okay. Apparently, the sequel to Michael, that's the Michael Jackson movie, is coming out the same time the Beatles biopics are coming out. They'll be competing. Oh, Jesus. Great. The battle between Michael and the Beatles. I don't want that. The Beatles might lose that battle, actually. They might. But it's weird. Weird. I did like the Michael movie. I thought it was good, Do you prefer the 65 Ed Sullivan Show performances to the 64? Yeah, I do. Most of the time, I put on the 65. If I'm going to watch Ed Sullivan with the Beatles, I usually put on 65. And a lot of that, I think, is because, let's face it, the 64 appearance, while historic, very tired. You know what I mean? It's very, very, played out. I've seen it many, 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 many times. I'm not as overdosed, you know. Well, the Carpenters' music considered ballads, I would say, yeah, Some of it, anyway, not all of it. Still has not seen the latest Spider-Man movie. I haven't, that's for sure, right? Okay, Harris looks great as Lennon. I've seen him as young John, Sergeant Pepper John, 69 John, and how I've won the war, John. He's nailing all of them. The vibe and demeanor are on point. Michael said to Paul, "You want to make some hits?" Yeah, he did. He did ask Paul that. Yeah, then proceeded to steal his catalog. Well, not steal, but he bought it. Mamas and the Papas. I like them. Do I know everything the Mamas and Papas ever did? No. Do I like them in general and their big songs that I know? Yeah. Do I solo wise? I'm not really familiar with them solo wise. I've heard some Cass Elliot, Mama Cass solo stuff. She had a great voice. Oh yeah. Well, hold on. This is first. I love the Carpenter songs. Yeah, so do I. Karen Carpenter could really sing, boy. Beautiful, beautiful textured voice. One of the greatest voices ever. Okay. Beatly Tone has given his favorite and least favorite from each album. Will you do that again soon? Well, that's the thing. I didn't watch his video yet, but I did see the thumbnail, and I know he's made a video of that. And I suspect, and this is not a criticism because I'm thinking the same thing for myself. Right now we have what we may call lean times when it comes to material about the Beatles. The Rubber Soul news was back a couple of weeks ago, whatnot. And the Rubber Soul deluxe set is not coming out until October, so we have to kind of make content, And I was thinking of doing things like this as well, I didn't watch his video, but I was thinking maybe if I'm so inclined, maybe I'll do a video of that too. I'm not sure, and I'll fully give Beatly Tone the credit for inspiring me. It's the kind of topic where anybody could really decide to do that. What's your favorite song on this album? Your least favorite song? Both. Rank the albums. What's your favorite opening track on each album? What's your favorite closing track from each album? So there. It kind of makes sense since the Beatles and MJ are the two most popular, influential artists of the past 100 years. No, Elvis Presley and the Beatles are. Thank you. I was surprised to hear The Girl Is Mine on Thriller the other day. I forgot about it. Yep. There you go. There's a Cass Elliot song for you. Oh, they really seem to be having a good time there on The Girl Is Mine. I don't really mind the song. It's the end when they start getting Michael. We're not going to fight about this now. Michael, I'm a lover, not a fighter. And they get into all of that bickering at the end. I think that's so cringe at the end of it. But I don't really mind the general song, to tell you the truth. Okay, cannot pick favorites. Well, see, I don't do that. Sometimes people they say, "Oh, I can't choose. Oh, I can't. Oh my God." It's like just have fun with it. Pretend that somebody is going to, end your existence. Say, pretend. If you can't pick one, what would you pick? Let's see. Hello, Kenny. Good afternoon. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Nothing weird sensations that you wouldn't know for some reason as I'm doing this, and let's leave it at that. I'm on this diet and I've been losing weight and I've been doing well, but it's doing things to me too. Doing things to my system, to my mind, my breathing, all kinds of stuff. It's really a change. Really a change. Okay. Let's see. Thoughts on Billy Joel? Any particular songs or albums you like and dislike? Good question. I like Billy Joel quite a lot. I think he's a great singer-songwriter. I think by some people he gets a lot of unfair bull leveled at him. Personality wise, I hear that he can be a little bit of a jerk at times to meet in person, which is sad to hear that. I don't know. Everybody's got their good days and bad days, but that's what I've heard about from people who've met him. But anyway, man, any particular? Wow, I'm sorry, folks, man. It's tough. Any particular songs or albums? Glass Houses might be my favorite album. The Stranger, 52nd Street. Songs, I could name songs all day. I mean, favorite song, I don't know. It's hard to say. Only the Good Die Young might be my favorite. I love Don't Ask Me Why, which is a little, not the most popular song. I like a lot of songs by Billy Joel. Doc loves Mr. Moonlight. That's his favorite song. The movie Madman, while filming it, the actor playing Madman Mars had his wife gave birth, similar to the episode of I Love Lucy, going to the hospital in costume. I didn't know this. I do know the movie Madman. I haven't seen that in ages. I have it back there in the bookcase. I haven't seen that in a long time. It's a horror movie from 1981. I didn't know that. You could do Fab Gab where you resequence albums for a different listening experience. Well, that's another thing. As I say, we have to come up with ideas for content. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this stream today. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love doing the streams. I love doing this. I love connecting with people out there, but sometimes a little under the weather if you're not feeling whatever. I might have skipped it today, honestly, but I thought, well, besides the fact that of course I always want to talk to you people, I have to have content up there too. So this is content, so that's good too. Problem with most music biopics are they're just 2-hour concert films that cram 20 years, et cetera, et cetera. Sam Mendes knew that one film couldn't do the Beatles justice. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Biopics should not be 2-hour concert films. You know what I mean? There should be story in there. And I think it depends on how interesting the person's life is that they're making a movie about, or person's lives. The individual artist or the group. I still listen to Mountaintop every day. Yeah, that's I saw the McCartney new album, Boys of Dungeon Lane. I haven't listened to the album in quite some time, but I do like it quite a lot. 3 days ago, Apple Corps made a licensing and merchandising deal with Universal Music Group covering all things Beatles, physical and digital merch, etc. Let's hope it's for the best. I really am excited about the idea of the new Beatles movies that are going to come out in 2028, maybe introducing the Beatles to a whole new generation. That's one of the interesting things about the Beatles, how different generations found out about the Beatles and grew up with them different ways. Some people grew up with them on the Ed Sullivan Show, the first generation fans. Some people grew up with them in the second generation by the Red and Blue albums, 62 to 66 and 67 to 70. Then other generations grew up with them watching the Beatles anthology special on television in 95. Other people played the Rock Band game, guitar and drums game. There's lots of reasons. Yeah, there you go. Well, people just say things like, well, if aliens are going to destroy the earth, if you don't rank your Beatles songs, I'll just say, let them destroy the earth. I'm not ranking it. It's like, if it really came to it, you obviously wouldn't let them do it. You would rank them. Sergeant Pepper, the best ever. Okay. MJ's extreme popularity can't be underestimated. My 8-year-old cousin knows like 7 or 8 MJ songs by heart. I don't know where he heard them. That's how deeply embedded he is in pop culture. Listen, Henry, I'm not doubting that Michael Jackson is very big into pop culture. He's one of the most important, iconic pop stars of the last 100 years. True. But I'm sorry, it's the Beatles and Elvis, or Elvis and the Beatles, if you like, are the first two. So Michael Jackson is not number 2 or number 1. He's number 3 at best, you know. And I still say Bob Dylan might be 3. So we'll have Michael Jackson like number 4 or something like that, maybe. Well, if I had more time to think right now, maybe he'd be lower, 5 or 6. Who knows? Hello, James. Thank you very much. Congratulations on 1K. Thank you. We Didn't Start the Fire, Billy Joel. It's an interesting song. Not one of my favorites, but interesting. My 3 favorite Billy Joel songs: Honesty, My Life, and Vienna. I like Honesty in My Life. Billy Joel's new single from a couple years ago was great. Turn the Lights Back On. It's funny. I remember just hearing the song only once. I thought it wasn't bad from what I remember, but I never heard it again. It's funny because people were waiting for Billy Joel to get back and make a new album or at least a new song for many, many years, decades, I think, and he never did. In fact, Billy Joel said that, well, the Beatles only had like 12 albums or something. I think he said 12 or 13 albums. So what's wrong with that? And what's wrong with that is the Beatles weren't together as a group as long as Billy Joel as a solo artist has been around. So, but anyway, but now nobody thinks. I'm glad Billy had a song out. He had a song out, but nobody remembers it or thinks about it much these days. Okay, sticking with that Glass House album, I really like Close to the Borderline. Okay. Yeah, it's still rock and roll to me. That's good. Songs like that, like that's a good song off Glass Houses, but it's another one of those songs that's overplayed a lot on the radio, or it used to be. Billy Joel has something in common with Ringo, and what is that? They're both human beings. If it has to do with the drinking or whatever, stuff like that. Ringo has been sober since 1988, so that drunk Ringo nonsense really should stop. But if you need to do it, do it. If that makes you feel good. What's this? Scenes from an Italian restaurant? It's all right. Yeah. Yeah, Dungeon Lane when driving. Well, I did that back in May, when Dungeon Lane first was out. I played it in the car a lot while driving. Thank you, James, and take care. Thank you. Hope the Beatles films don't just do the iconic moments and also delve into the personal stuff with George Martin, Brian, Mal Evans. Give them a lot of focus. Well, it looks like they're going to do that. It looks like everybody's going to be represented to some point. I think they got somebody playing Linda McCartney, for example. So who knows? Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Keep the expectations low for the biopics. I agree with that. I was the second generation. I got into them in 76, but I already knew some of the songs, as it turns out. I'm 63. Yeah, I always consider myself I always consider myself a second generation fan also because I got heavily into them around 75. But I was heavily into them when I was 3, 4, 5, 6 years old too. So then I stopped until I was, 13 again. So it's hard to say. Some people think that I count as a firstie. So I really don't know. To me, it doesn't matter. I don't care whether I'm first or second. Whatever it is, it is. Okay, hey, there he is, Paul. What's going on there? When I was a kid, I loved Michael Jackson. Still think Off the Wall is his best album. I'm a sucker for disco. Oh, that's good. I think disco is underrated. I think I like disco a lot now more than I did at the time. At the time, I thought it was kind of like sissy-ish or whatever you want to call it. Now I really like disco a lot. Anyway, as a young boy, little did I know I could have probably dated him. Wink. Oh boy. Say that on your own channel. Say that on the, say that over on your trivia show. It's not really a trivia show, it's just the Beatle board. My dad introduced me to the Beatles when I was 6, and he bought me the Red and Blue albums. My first time seeing the Beatles was the picture of them looking over the railing in the mall. Well, it's not a mall; it's a building. Second generation fan of the Beatles in the mid 70s. There you go. It's almost like the Harrison estate are more like gatekeepers of his work. where others like Lennon are enthusiastic about releasing new collections to keep fans old and new engaged. Yeah, I know that the Lennon estate wants to, please the younger fans and try to keep John out there. I know that for a fact. I am not in favor of these biopics. The Beatles are the most documented, talked about, discussed, dissected rock band ever, anthologies, etc., etc. Uh, yeah, I'm in favor of them. I think it's important. Everybody has biopics. Why not the Beatles? You know, and as I say, I hope it brings new people to the Beatles. New generations of interest. I agree, Elvis and the Beatles, but I'm a fan of Michael Jackson. There you go. To me, MJ means Michael Jackson. Some people may say MJ and they mean Michael Jordan. Other people may say MJ and they think of Peter Parker's girlfriend, MJ. Okay, so there you go. Took us into their world. There's nothing, and there's not anything these films will add to them. It's a waste of time. See, that's where I disagree, Kenny, because it's not. People say that all the time. They say there are new movies coming out. They say, what are we going to learn from them? These are not to teach us anything. We know the whole Beatles story. We're not going to learn anything from them. But there are people, believe it or not, out there, especially young people, who don't know anything about the Beatles, or it's the first time they're ever going to hear about them, and they'll learn it. I don't know if that's what you mean by the comment. Nothing that will add to them. If you mean it's, it won't add anything to their legacy. I think it'll bring them new fans, hopefully, and it'll bring them new attention, and that's always a good thing. I don't see any problem with the movies existing, unless they're really bad or something. That's a whole nother thing. I don't know what you're talking about, with the Stones Hackney Diamond sequel. There's already Foreign Tongues out there. I don't know if that's considered the sequel. Elton John must be considered an icon of pop culture, along with Ethel Merman. Yeah, well, I love Elton John. Do I consider him like up there with, like, say, the big ones, you know what I mean? I love Elton John personally. I think he's great. Probably the biggest artist when I was growing up in the 70s, for me. But when you think of Elvis, or when you think of the Beatles, and you think of Bob Dylan, and you hear the name like, Michael Jackson, maybe even Madonna, like, is Elton John that has that same? Maybe. He's definitely up there as one of the greats. I just don't know about one of the icons. I don't know. Who cares? Did you read that Mal Evans biography? Yes, I did. I read the first one. There's more coming. I'm in a New York state of mind. There you go. Favorite from you. Never realized how important Mal Evans was to the Beatles story when I was younger. Well, yeah, I know. I have my own bottle ready for that. Okay. Oh yeah, that song "Second Wind." I know. That's yeah. It's about somebody trying to keep people from unaliving themselves. It's a good sentiment. I like the sentiment in the song. I don't love the song itself. Hello, J.D. Thompson. What's going on? How are you? Got the Beatles shirt on here. See this? It's all wrinkled. In the wrong spots. My shirts like go to an angle when I wear them. I don't know. All right, "Beat It" is probably a favorite Michael Jackson song. Terrific. I don't know what mine is. So many of those songs from Thriller are so overplayed too. Like, Billie Jean. I used to love Billie Jean. Now I don't care if I never hear it again. "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough" is one of my favorites. Yeah. Okay. I enjoy watching movies made on music stars. I find them very entertaining. Yeah, I remember that too. I saw Birth of the Beatles on TV also in 1979. And they kind of loving is good loving, Eppy. Even if you don't like them, Prince and David Bowie are also up there in terms of iconic musicians. Yeah, it's not about whether I like them or not. Get that through your skull, first of all, because this guy, Henry, is very irritating at times. I'm not saying you mean me personally, 'cause, I'm okay. You know, it's not about who I like personally. It has nothing to do with that. I'm not wild. I'm not wild about Madonna, but I realize she's one of the biggest as far as icon names. Oh, interesting. I don't see Elton John as one of the big icons. Just my opinion. Henry, you're making me tired. Obviously, Paul and Ringo can consult on their films for accuracy. Hopefully, John and George's estate, etc., get accurate, etc., etc. Yeah, yeah. All right. Yes, it is one of my favorite songs. This boy doesn't make my top 100 songs. I like. They're very similar. This boy and yes, it is. If I had to pick one, it'd have to be this boy. Did I see any movies, Joe? Yeah, I saw some movies, but that's pretty much. I'll save that for my movie channel. That's right. Which, by the way, he may be getting another name again. I may change the name. I'm thinking of changing the name of my movie channel back to something else. It may be an old title I used to use. Maybe I'll go back to where is this? Where is it? Banners. There it is. Yeah, Mr. Cinemayo. Okay, subscribe to Mr. Cinemayo. This channel is doing better lately too. So I'm glad. Thank you to anybody who subscribed to Mr. Cinemayo. I may change that title. I may start making my movie channel a more horror theme. It's already very horror themed, but I may go all out. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. For the longest time. Oh. See what I mean? I jumped down Henry's throat. And he says, "No, I didn't mean you. I just meant in general." There you go. Also, Whitney. I don't agree about Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston was a great singer, but I don't consider her one of the all-time greats. I'm sorry. I do like tuna melts. I do. Haven't had one in a while. Too long. Yeah. Cheers, folks. Again, just dealing with water. I'm getting my daily dose of microplastics from this plastic cup. Yeah. Nothing is safe anymore. You don't know. You can't avoid stuff. I've never played the Boston album. I only know More Than a Feeling and Peace of Mind. That's all I know. Yes, I have the CD. I found it for $1. I should play it. It would be nice to play it, right? I'm okay if I don't. But okay, here's Matthew Smith, aka Chip. She's already duetted on stage. Duetted, excuse me. She's already duetted on stage with all these people. Think we'll see Olivia Rodrigo on stage with Paul. If Olivia Rodrigo is popular enough and Paul wants to be, look good by being with the most popular person, yes. Do you keep sealed albums or open and play them all? Some of them are sealed, some of them are open, some of them are played, some are not played. That 8 hours with Danny, how are you preparing? There is no preparation. Who's this going to bother me in the middle of a live stream? It's Danny. Let's see what Danny has to say. Hold on a minute. He can come on if he wants, by the way. Hello? What's up? Hello? What's going on? Instead of coughing, what's going on? He's on, folks. Here he is. You hear that? I left you live. He's coughing because he's smoking. Hold on. credit. Danny's arguing with me on the phone. Danny, I asked if he wanted to come up. He said no. You're live now, by the way. He said, I'm not trying to hide that it's your flipping idea. I'm going to give you every credit in the world. Give me a break. We haven't done the show yet. We're arguing already. Dude, what an idiot. God, man. Hang up. Oh, my God, folks. You hear that? This guy. Hold on. He aggravated me. He just called for like a minute, and he aggravated the hell out of me. We're going to do 8 hours? You know, he called me. Why aren't you giving me credit? I thought of the idea. I'll give you every week. I left Danny a message the other day. You know, for those who don't know how this went, we were doing our live stream, and at the end of the live stream, I said we're still trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and he goes, "Hey, if we get to 1,000 subscribers, we'll do an 8-hour live stream." I left Danny a message. I said, Danny, you are a genius. I said it worked. That was the most amazing idea ever. I said, you are really, really a genius, my friend. I said, you are. And I said all this to him. He calls me up and goes, you better give me credit. It was my idea. Danny, I'm going to give you credit. Geez, take it easy. Give me a chance to breathe a little bit. See how aggravated I am? I've been on this live stream for 41 minutes, and I was ready. I was rather easygoing like this. That's why, if you look at the thumbnail to the Joe and Danny 8-hour marathon, August 30th, it's got us both in boxing gloves. So anyway, yeah. So there you go. That's Dan. I asked him to come up. He said, no, this is your show. This is your show. He said, don't, you know. Yeah, exactly, Jill. Exactly. Danny, if you want to come up, you're still welcome to come up, by the way. You should be up here to promote the show. I don't mind you coming. Don't say, and by the way, Danny, don't feel, oh, this is your show, Joe. This is your show. Because I've let people up here before, you know what I mean? Doc, if you want to come up, you can come up. Anybody want to come up? Well, not anybody. I say that everybody will want to come up. You know, only certain people. What can I tell you? But anyway, did you pick up the Outer Limits DVD? I picked up the first season. I got it. So Ramoga could go in there and pleasure himself now, because I finally got the Outer Limits that he wanted me to see so bad. Favorite Eric Clapton song is really tough to do. If we're talking Derek and the Dominoes, if you're going to include that, I'll say Layla. I love I Shot the Sheriff. I love After Midnight. A lot of songs. See, then Roga says, Danny, come up. I love you. But I can't get aggravated. Have you read the books in the Beatles box sets? Not really. Oh, boy. Danny, the GOAT. He's a GOAT, all right. And I know what that means. Greatest of all time. Will they last 8 minutes? I really wonder. And that's why, you know, I want people to come up. You know, I want to have guests on, too. And, you know, not just anybody. You know, we have to know who we're dealing with. How did you meet Danny? He was a fan, just like you guys. He was a fan of the show. He was a fan of the show. Him and his wife, Robin, liked watching the show. And I remember one time he sent me a letter and a photo of the two of them, a nice, happy couple. And he seemed like a really nice guy. And I don't know how it got to the point where I allowed him to come on the screen one time. I said, hey, come on screen. And the rest is history. He's quite a character. I can already see the show. I guess you mean the show going off the rails within 30 minutes. Well, people are welcome, but I don't know if they're available or not. I am a slave to the stove making dinner right now. Oh, very nice. Well, I dropped the damn phone again. It happened before, too. Jesus. At least the phone fell on my foot, and therefore, by falling on my foot, it didn't take too hard of a crash onto the floor. Jeez. So anyway, yeah, the 8-hour live stream to reach 1,000 subs was Danny's idea. Brilliant idea, genius idea. You know, he needs that. He needs that encouragement. He needs to feel like important. So there you go. There you go, Mark. Exactly. Danny just rambles on, and everyone's comments get overlooked. There you go. That's part of the reason why I got to mute him If I want, see what I'm doing here is when I do this show, I try to keep it moving. I try to keep it moving. Promises by Clapton is a good one. All right, Joe, you'll love it. The Outer Limits rule. Well, I'm holding you responsible. Holding you responsible. We'll see if I like it or not. We will. I'll try to get an episode on tonight, the first episode, so that Danny is a pain in the oasis. Oh, Danny, you got to come on and defend yourself. Mr. Mayo, you and Danny are great together and very entertaining. I think George, Music for All 4 Seasons, may be one of the very biggest, if not biggest, supporters and fans of the Joe and Danny show. Thank you, George. I think I'll give the new McCartney another spin to see if it's improved, Danny. Well, it's definitely very good. It's a question of whether your opinion approves on it. Kind of said how Matthew Street was a main regular on this channel back in 2021, and now he shows up maybe once a year. Well, Matthew Street is always welcome. I love the guy. He's a friend, and he doesn't do many lives. He doesn't like to do many lives. I don't put words in his mouth, but he comes on whenever I ask him. Most of 99.9% of the time. The Outer Limits, one of my favorite shows. I'd literally give you a $100 super chat to bring the album song ranking Fab Gabs back. Oh, well, we do that. We did one not too long ago. We did the Boys of Dungeon Lane ranking, and I got to get on this because there are 2 albums I want to rank, two Beatles solo albums that I want to rank this year. Before the year's over, and I got to start thinking more about them, and I'm going to do them. I don't think the Outer Limits has aged as well as the Twilight Zone. Well, we'll see. I never really watched too much of the X-Files. I've seen the X-Files. They make those iPhones slippery as wet soap bars. Oh, what do you mean? Drop my bar of soap? Is that what you're trying to say? I have a feeling that Matthew Street might have been in the shower dropping the soap. Oh, boy. Okay. The new album, Dungeon Lane, it's generic and bland, but we'll see. Several releases new this year, way better. McCartney 3 was better. Don't agree with that. Hopefully a Plastic Ono Band ranking, because that is probably Lennon's crown jewel. Yeah, we got to get to all these. Yeah, you're right about this. Yeah. You need a phone case, Chip. Oh, I thought you meant me. I have a phone case, and I swear by this thing. It's hard to get it. I had to get them online. These things are very important, It's like it's a case, and you close it onto the phone like that, and it kind of is it's magnetized. And if you drop it, it has a protective case. I don't understand people who walk around without one of these. I don't understand, honestly. I've been suggesting a Plastic Ono Band ranking for a long time. Do it. No, I mean, you pick up the phones and they fly across the room. McCartney 3 wasn't better than Boys of Dungeon Lane. Well, that's why everybody's got an opinion. Everybody's got opinions. And that's okay, right? That is A-okay. The Goombas of Gore. The fans are clamoring for another installment. Danny, are you listening to me, Danny? Danny recently has watched, he's told me, and we've talked, he's watched a lot of different horror movies. And I said, you should come on my movie show, or better yet, let's do another Goombas of Gore show. Danny could talk about movies that he's seen recently, the horror movies. Danny, if you're listening, let's do it. I think one of the reasons Danny doesn't want to come on here is he thinks that it's going to be all Beatles, But don't worry, we're not going to only talk. If you come up here, Danny, we're not just going to talk Beatles. That's the same kind of phone case I use. Very nice, Jill. Very nice. I forget the name. The name is not on here anymore, is it? It used to be. It's not on here. If I ever need to get more. I think I have 2 or 3 extras this time. They last a long time, but I like giant bulky phones that we all have now, basically a mini computer. Yeah, no, the thing is, no, I have it plugged in here. I'm charging it. It's sitting on the edge of the desk. My hand goes on the edge of the desk sometimes, and I knocked it off the edge of the desk. Okay, McCartney could do a show in Mecca, Saudi Arabia, and call it From Mecca in Mecca. I like that. What are you eating later? Well, I noticed that this morning when my girlfriend left for work, he took out chop meat. So I assume we're just going to make some burger patties. I assume, Double Fantasy would also be a cool song ranking. Might be difficult because it's John and Yoko. No, I think I would do that too. We could even rank the songs separately if you want. Do the Yoko songs first and then the John songs, possibly. You know. Hasn't Danny declared that the Beatles are overrated? I don't know if Danny. He has to come. Danny, come on and tell us this. What you think? I don't know if Danny declared the Beatles are overrated, but I know he. I think Danny just feels like the Beatles. He's heard enough already. Like enough. Talk about something else. Beatles, Beatles, Beatles. I think that's how he feels about it. Not that they're not great, but like a lot of people, you know, he's had enough talking about them. Nothing like a great burger. Yeah, well, we love great burgers, sure. It might sound crazy, but I think John's cover of "Stand by Me" is one of the greatest covers of all time. I think so too. I like John's cover of "Stand by Me." Henry, I do. I do. I do. I do. I do. I do. I'm going to get my Outer Limits DVD. Danny, we're begging you. We want you to come on and promote your idea. Tell everybody how it was your idea to do the show marathon. Just bear with me a moment, folks. I'm just going to go and I'm going to be right back in a few seconds. Don't worry, I'm coming back. I told you I'm coming back. Okay, I got it right here to share with people, show you. If anybody cares. Some people do. There it is. Sealed. It's still got the security the seal. Look at that. I got it used. This is, well, I say used, but nobody ever opened it. Security device enclosed. The entire first season of the groundbreaking original series on DVD. How great is that? How great is that? That I actually, got to watch this. I mean, I'm going to be watching it. There it is. Look, look. Yeah, I'm actually going to be watching this, and I get to watch it like on a brand new set, like not used or anything. Pretty cool. If Paul, if Paul continues to tour, do you think he'll change up his set? No, I don't. For years, as much as I love Paul, he continues to tell the exact same stories. I agree with you, and I'm not one of those people that understands a person going to see Paul over 100 times. But people who do and have a good time, that's all that matters. If that's your thing, I know at least two people, at least three people actually that have gone to over 100 Paul concerts, and whatever your thing is, I like it if it's different, somewhat. I don't have the new Beatlebelia book, but I really want to get it. I intend on getting it. I also want to get Terry Crane's new book about the Beatle novelty records. I love Beatle novelty record collecting. I re-listened to all 7 Wings albums recently, and London Town was better than I remembered. Red Rose Speedway is the weakest. I agree with you. I think Red Rose Speedway is maybe the weakest Wings album, along with Wildlife, of course. Was that Outer Limits set a bargoon? I think it was $25, Doc, which is like not really a full-blooded bargoon, but you know, considering it's brand new. Probably wouldn't be as good as Paul, but John singing "Oh Darling" and "Helter Skelter" would have been interesting. Well, there's an example where I disagree with John. You know, I'm a John guy, but when John says I should have sang "Oh Darling," I could have done it better. It's more my style than Paul's. Bullshit, John. Okay, it shows you how much I support Paul too over John at times. No. Paul's "Oh Darling" is absolutely incredible. It's one of my favorite vocals by Paul. Wings Wildlife is better than Red Rose Speedway. I previously thought it was the other way around. Well, at least that beautiful song "My Love" is on it. "My Love" is really, really. You know who really loves the song "My Love"? Chip. Here, he loves that song. You know, there he is. Red Rose and Wildlife are better than Speed of Sound. Oh, that was a bargain buy, Joe. Looks beautiful. It's brand new. It's brand new. Uh, Hope Beetlebelia is worth it. Almost $100 US. I didn't know that. Shipped from the UK. Whoa, I didn't know that. It's a lot of money. What's going on, folks? Oh. Okay. I love Lennon, but the one thing I disagree with him is when he said the Abbey Road medley is garbage. The Abbey Road medley is one of the greatest pieces of music ever, up there with Beethoven. I do agree, definitely. I think John was out of his mind when he said that Abbey Road was the medley was garbage. But I know why he says that. To him, it was just taking pieces of his songs and doing something with them. Joe's got heat stroke, rambling nonsense. He's talking about My Love. You know how much he loves My Love. Ah. What's for dinner tonight? Well, I saw chop meat being defrosted by my girlfriend, so I assume we're going to have like just burger patties or something like that tonight. Or maybe sometimes she makes Salisbury steak. But I have to watch, because she doesn't watch what she puts in things. It's like it depends how careful I'm going to be with when I eat something. I'll probably put ketchup on it. So. Yeah, the Outer Limits is available on Blu-ray. I have it on DVD only. Yeah, some things I don't mind. By the way, in addition to this, I got some other very interesting, I think, some very interesting DVDs that I picked up. And I'm going to show it over at my channel, Mr. Cinemayo, which a title which may change. Mr. Cinemayo might be something else soon. So I don't know yet. And you'll see, I'm going to be making a video about these, what I picked up. So you'll find out. And also, don't forget, I do the movie show, a live show. I sit up here with my panelists, co-hosts, or whatever you want to call them, and we discuss movies, TV shows. And that's over at Mr. Cinemayo, and it's on Monday nights. So check it out. I hope the biopics show all the album covers being created, not just Abbey Road. Imagine them showing them creating them. I think that's a little too much. I don't know. I'm just saying a little too much extraneous information. I don't think every little part of everything has to be shown. I don't know if that's integral to the story. I don't know about that. So no, that's not going to. Definitely not going to be. That's not in the running for the title of the channel if I change it. I don't have Hey Grandude. For people who think I buy everything just because it's loosely Beatles related, I don't have Hey Grandude, so I don't know. I've got the DVD and the Blu-ray Outer Limits, and honestly, this is a case of very little difference. So there you go. That happens too. I mean, I have some DVDs. We're watching I Love Lucy. I Love Lucy. I have on regular DVD. It came out on Blu-ray too. And the DVDs are fine, considering I'm 64 years old, and believe it or not, I can't believe it. And considering that My girlfriend and I have been together 15 years. We only watched. This is only the second time we're going through the Lucy shows. So there you go. Outer Limits seems like something that someone of your esteem should be familiar with. You would think so. Obviously that's something that was on TV. It's from the era that I like. I definitely should be familiar with it, but I'm not. The biopics will depict the Shea Stadium concert. Was that the Beatles' last live performance? No, Candlestick Park, San Francisco was the last Beatles performance. Do I have brain fog today? Does it seem to you like I have brain fog? I have the Outer Limits season 1 on DVD, and after 20 years, it's unplayable. You're actually deteriorating. Aha! That does happen. That does happen. Oh, what's the company on this? Wow. MGM. I don't remember MGM having problems like that. I wonder. These could be all degraded and not played. Good point. Is there a band, in your opinion, that even comes close to the Beatles? Absolutely not. There's lots of great bands out there that I love, but none of them come close, as far as I'm concerned. Just my opinion. It's not just my opinion. A lot of people have that opinion, but I'm saying just my opinion in the sense that don't get upset. It's just my opinion here. Did you ever see a video of Lennon doing a live performance? 69 in Canada, singing "Come Together." He had the bed piece look already. I don't remember. My Outer Limits season 1 DVD was double-sided. Uh-oh. I don't like that. And it scratches. Oh, boy. I don't know if that's the case here or not. I would never. I mean, the group Queen couldn't even wipe the Beatles' butts, as far as I'm concerned. Even despite them having success and some good stuff, just my opinion. Yeah, it's a double-sided disc. Oh, wait a minute. There's 4 discs here, though. You sure they're double-sided? There's 32 episodes, and there's 4 discs. Are you sure about that on this one? Candlestick. There you go. Very interesting. So you were there before it was demolished. No one close, but the Kinks and the Jam come closest. Never been a big Queen fan. Queen is not remotely close to the Beatles. Oh, the Outer Limits was an hour-long show. Oh, that sucks. It's easy to sit through a half-hour show. An hour-long show. Well, like I said, there are 4 discs. It says 32 episodes. Let's do the math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, there's 8. There were 8 episodes. Well, then again, come to think of it, we probably are double discs. So this is going to be interesting, to say the least. You got to admit that the 1985 Live Aid performance is one of the most iconic in music history. I've heard that people consider the Queen performance from Live Aid iconic, or one of the or great. I don't know about iconic, but I didn't care. There's a Cynthia Lennon CD. Nah, don't know about that. I don't believe there's a band that comes close to the Beatles. The Beach Boys would like to think they are, which I am a fan of both. There you go. How about Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons? It honestly makes sense that "You're My Best Friend" is your favorite Queen song, because it's the Queen song that sounds most like the Beatles. There you go. Yeah. Actually, I think "Crazy Little Thing Called Love" is my favorite, now that I think of it. Yeah, "Crazy Little Thing Called," yeah, that's probably my favorite. You like the way Danny just stiffed us. He just stiffed us, Danny. Danny, if you're out there, you got some nerve not showing up here. You know, people want to say hello. I think he's afraid to because he knows it's a Beatles thing. He thinks it is a Beatles thing, sure, but we can change that. Not everyone watched Live Aid. I couldn't be bothered. There you go, Christian. Frankie Goes to Hollywood was best band from Liverpool. Beatles was second. I think this is the lyrics from Monkberry Moon Delight, Catchup, Soup and Puree. A Kind of Magic is underrated. I don't know the song unless I hear it by them. I probably know it if I heard it. There's a hooray for Danny. And yeah, I got it right. Yes, indeed. Right away. I recognize those lyrics right away from the excellent fun song, Monkberry Moon Delight, off the Ram album by McCartney, if you don't know. I've heard that other artists in live, they were waiting to perform while Queen was playing, and they thought to themselves, how on earth are we going to top this? Whatever makes you feel good. Whatever makes you feel good, Henry. That very well may be the case. Very well may be the case. We're having pork chops and applesauce. Actually, we had pork chops last night, but no applesauce. Danny's afraid to come up here. He's eating veal. Yeah, Danny, the other day, Danny's very much against eating veal, but he had veal the other day. Yeah, he had veal the other day. The Four Seasons are my all-time favorite band, and the only band to have a number one hit before, during, and after the Beatles. The Beatles are the number one band of all time. There you go. I like the Four Seasons as well, as you know. Can we see the press to play video? It has to feel right. It has to feel right. It doesn't feel right. All right, I'll show it to you. Top 5 bands for me: Beatles, Queen, Fleetwood Mac, Pink Floyd, The Stones. No, it's not a bad list. That veal was full of ticks. Okay, let's see. Alrighty, there we go. All right. The press to play video, huh? No, I don't think a lot of people appreciate that. Yeah, December 63. I like that song as well. Definitely. Best bass in a Beatles song, Don't Let Me Down. How about, there's a lot of good ones, but how about if I come out with Old Brown Shoe? That comes to mind. Okay. Let's see. Brian May, literally one of the best guitarists. There you go. There you go. There you go. There's an agreement. I just saw Mike Arugula and you singing Mr. Moonlight, and you slaughtered him. I did a good version of Mr. Moonlight, I got to say. Check it out. It's Mike Arugula video. If you had to pick the 5 best songs from Paul's solo career, what would they be? That's impossible. I'll just tell you the 5 that pop out of my head solo. Number 1 that pops out of my head, Maybe I'm Amazed, his greatest, one of his greatest, if not his greatest. Uncle Albert, Admiral Halsey. Number 2, this is just ones that pop in my head. I'm going through it. Wow. 1985. So many, but I got. I'm just trying to go through all the albums. Wanderlust and Some Days, and that's just the ones that pop in my head right now. Actually, I like the version. Who does it? Who does it? The four tops. Who does the faster version of Working My Way Back to You? I like that version better. Will you re-rank Rubber Soul songs when the box set is released? I'll be doing a lot of stuff about it when it's re-released. I don't know if I'll re-rank the songs, but we're doing a lot of stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I saw her standing there. I agree with you. Great bass line. Hello, Laura. You're late to the party. You missed a lot because we've been on for 71 minutes. So, but nothing on you. The usual, so usual. Okay. Do I like Bob Seger? I don't know. Night Moves and Against the Wind are okay, but I don't really know that much by him. I listened to Old Brown Shoe again. I didn't expect that. Should Macca start doing Mr. Moonlight in concert? Absolutely not. I'm not a hater of Mr. Moonlight, but I'm just saying, he shouldn't do it. Uncle Albert, Admiral Halsey, so good. I have the first 2 seasons of Outer Limits on DVD. I guess I better watch them and see if they're still there. Yeah. I would add House of Wax. House of Wax is a great McCartney vocal. I love the song. Yeah. Well, you asked me for 5 songs. I definitely I actually deliberately passed up Jet and Junior's Farm. Junior's Farm is one of my all-time favorites, but I had to like try to get past the 70s. I didn't want it all to be the 70s. Or the Spinners do it. The Spinners do Working My Way Back to You. I like that. Yeah. That song that you call Sugar Pie Honey Bunch is called Can't Help Myself, and it is indeed a banger. Can't Take My Eyes Off of You. I like that very much. People make fun of the vaudeville stuff, but Honey Pie is honestly a good song. It's a good song. It's just so silly. I appreciate it for what it is, and I'm glad that the White Album has so many different versatile kinds of tracks on it. It's not just one thing. A lot of different things. So where are we at? I tell you, 3 people didn't decline to be on here. I asked Tom. Tom Hunyadi said hello early in the show. I said, Tom, let me know if you want to come up. I never heard from him again. I asked Doc Dacus to come up, and he said, "Oh, I'm busy cooking dinner now." And I asked Danny to come up, and he said, "No, this is your show." So wow, that's 3. Wow. Is Tug of War McCartney's best post-Wings album? It's one of his best post-Wings albums. I never thought of which one is number 1. I made a list somewhere, but nah. Hello, Walkman. Helen Wheels. Helen Wheels has never been a favorite of mine. I don't hate it, but it's never been a favorite. Yeah, Paul's range is insane, going from Honey Pie to Helter Skelter on the same album. Sure, absolutely. It's just as crazy as John going from Julia to Your Blues. Hello, Mr. James Byers. How you doing? Okay, maybe you banned them by mistake. Yeah, what's this about Doc Dacus banned some people by mistake? I love the chats you had with Tom while he was at work. Classic. Yeah, those were good. I don't agree. As much as I don't love Hell on Wheels, I think it has to be on Band on the Run. Well, then again, I'm saying that because I'm a U.S. guy and I grew up with it that way. So I guess Tom, Danny, and Doc aren't as good of friends as you thought. Tug of War, Flaming Pie, New, Dungeon Lane, Paul's best post albums from 19 after 1980. Yeah. Right now I'd say Flame. I like Flaming Pie better than Tug. Thank you for listing them. It helps me think about it. I would right now I would put Flaming Pie. I might put Flaming Pie and Dungeon Lane over Tug of War. I might right now. Ask me again tomorrow. Oh yeah, Too Many People is a great one too. But like I say, I was only asked for 5. If I was asked for 50, I could come up with 50 tracks. Okay, both John, yeah, come on, both John and Paul showed some of their greatest stuff on the White Album. Reason why it's my favorite Beatles album. 30 tracks just bursting with creativity and genius, and I like the versatility and the different styles on it. Just that's why I love it so much. You know, and it's a little imperfect. It's different from their other albums. If you want albums that are all cohesive and tight and all that stuff, and just balls to the wall, you got all their other albums. So yeah. Okay, I'm only going to be on a short time here. I got some work to do before I go. I have to pick my girlfriend up from work and spend a little more, another 5 minutes or so here. Rank these George masterpieces. Here Comes the Sun, Something, and While My Guitar Gently Weeps. That's really hard because they're all those are his 3 greatest songs, Beatles wise, maybe. Right now, I would rank them for favorite. Right now, there's 2 ways of doing this: the best and what I like the best, my favorites. Right now, I'll say While My Guitar Gently Weeps, Here Comes the Sun, and Something. That's what I say right now. I could possibly be a first generation fan, but I'm more of a second generation fan. I'm like second generation fan and a half first, kind of. Mm-hmm. Well, I figured that was the case. Yeah, I figured that you weren't used to Helen Wheels being on Band on the Run. Oh, yeah, I'll try to enjoy that Outer Limits. I'll let you know what I think of it, honestly, Ramoga. Thank you. Thank you. We're getting close to the end. It's getting very near the end. Getting very near the end. Fatigue happens with Beatles songs, but for some reason, both Here Comes the Sun and Penny Lane are immune to it. I kind of agree, especially for Penny Lane. I mean, I get tired of Here Comes the Sun a little bit more than I do Penny Lane. Penny Lane, I never get tired of hearing that on the radio or something. Thank you, James. Thank you very much. You too. We'll get this to 80 minutes and then we'll say, okay, see you soon after I get just another minute or two. Last comments. The last comments. There you go. So slang in Penny Lane. Exactly. There it is. Penny Lane isn't one of my favorites. Hollywood Bowl 64 here. Sound drowned out, but I recall hearing Long Tall Sally as a finale. There you go. While My Guitar Gently Weeps and the Blue Album was my gateway. How many times have you watched Get Back? I feel like I can never get rid of Disney Plus. There's not much I want to watch on it. But I like to turn it on and hang out with the Beatles. Well, I have mine on the Blu-ray set, so I don't have to worry about it. You know. But how many times have I watched it? Oh, I don't know, 4 times maybe, something like that. I'm guessing. No special training. No special training. Do you know which countries your viewers come from? I'm personally watching your videos from Hungary. Well, thank you. It's nice to know people are watching from all around the globe. Some people I know where, if they tell me where they're watching from, you know. There you go. Well, thank you, everybody. I appreciate everybody. I gotta say, your streams just fly by. Yes, indeed, don't they? Yeah. Yes, they do, don't they? Yes, they do. You know. But anyway, thank you, everybody. Now, just what can I say here? Just before I go, let me just tell you again. I got 2 other channels. Please subscribe to the other channels. All right. Well, first, we'll talk about. Let's see here. We'll talk about Mayo Loves Mondays. That's a channel talking about life. We talk about rants, or I talk about rants, things I rant that get under my skin that piss me off about life today. Also, the Joe and Danny show. You know, Joe and Danny show where me and Danny get together. We do a stream about life and getting on each other's nerves and trying to get along and all of that stuff. Yeah, you know, rant videos. And don't forget, my Anthony videos are now over there. If you like the videos with Anthony, my friend Anthony, they're going to be over there. You know, we're going to do them over there. And also flea market. I'm supposed to go to the flea market tomorrow, but I hear it's going to rain. But flea market videos are now over there too. So there's lots of reasons to do the Mayo trifecta. You go over to all 3 channels. And so you got that one over there. And then you got this other one here, which is right now called Mr. Cinemayo, which may change. The title may change. I'm working on some ideas in my head. It's about movies, television, nostalgia, pop culture, comic books occasionally, autographs, all kinds of different things about collecting and entertainment. So check it out and subscribe. Much appreciated. What we got coming up here? Well, okay, today is Saturday. Sunday, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do the weight loss show. Over on Mayo Loves Mondays, I do a weight loss journey show. We support each other. We talk about how we're doing with our experiences. So I may do that tomorrow. I may skip 2 weeks. I may not be able to do it the Sunday after either, because Sunday after is the big marathon with Danny. So anyway, so that's possibly a show for tomorrow on Sunday. Then on Monday, we have the show. It's usually around 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern time, the movie show over at Mr. Cinemayo. We do the movie. We talk about movies and television. I'll show you what I got. Other people show you what they bought. We talk about all kinds of stuff. And don't forget, we usually do the Joe and Danny show on Thursday now, but the Joe and Danny show, we're not going to do another episode together until our big 8-hour marathon. Once more, thank you for everybody who took Danny's advice. Danny's the one who thought it up. You know, Danny said, hey, you know, if we hit 1,000 subs on this channel, and I owe him my thanks and gratitude, we'll do an 8-hour marathon. Well, we hit it, and I thank you for that. And we're good. Next time you'll see Joe and Danny will be August 30th. We're on from 8 a.m. Eastern to 4 p.m. Eastern, hopefully, to do an 8-hour marathon. So much appreciated. Looking forward to the Monster Channel. When is it? Well, right now I have all kinds of monster and horror movies on my channel, Mr. Cinemayo. Even no matter whether I change the title or not, it's always going to be horror, science fiction, fantasy, monsters is always going to be the #1 topic over there. I just may change the name. So check that out, please. I appreciate that. And thank you, everybody. We'll talk soon, I hope. Thanks for everybody for your support.